Those young people who are outside there want to join this wonderful institution, they should make sure that they will be responsible of whatever they are starting. If you feel that you won't be responsible, leave it there until its time comes.
Hello our viewers, this is Couples Will Show, and this is where we write down our love while we are alive. As we have always said, we don't want our love story to be told when we are gone. We don't want our love story to be read when we are 6 feet under, and this can only be found on Wema TV, the voice of hope. My name still remains to be Willie Kinyash. Kibadilika nitawambia. And it is Friday. You know how we do it. And tonight, I am having a wonderful man of God. He's my friend. We schooled together. We were in the same high school. And tonight, we want to talk about what kills marriage. Yeah, marriages are breaking out there. And so we want to look at the things that are killing marriages. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here.
Good to have been in this wonderful studio.
Yes.
Wema TV.
Yes.
I've been aspiring to be in this Wema TV to come and see goodies that you are producing from this studio.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
You can tell our viewers who you are.
I am Reverend Nicholas Kahio, and I serve in Anglican Church and generally the body of Christ. And as he has said, we schooled together in high school, and he saw it worthy to come and partake the wonderful tidings that are in marriages, because it has ups and downs, and I am so happy to be here.
Yeah.
And currently I'm serving in Diocese of Muranga South, in Gedogori Parish.
Oh.
So I'd like to greet them also, so that they can hear that I was in Wema TV.
Yes.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
And thank you for honoring the invitation.
Yeah.
We are honored, we are humbled. And so tonight we are talking about the things that kill marriages. So as we start, what is that you can say? What kills marriage?
Before we start the topic, what kills the marriage, we must first of all know it is the only institution that existed before sin. Mark that or underline that. It is the only institution that existed before sin. And we see it from all the way from the Garden of Eden. But along the way, there were loopholes that were created, not by the devil, nor by God. It is by them who are entrusted that institution.
That is man.
That is man and wife.
Yes.
2, we must understand that man was one who was created. And then the woman came out from him. So I think I'm not wrong when I say a woman is a byproduct of a man.
Come on.
So if things are going wayward, someone to answer these questions is not woman. It is man. Why?
Tell us.
He was the one who was created. And when God saw that he is lonely, he decided to make him asleep. And then from his rib came out the woman.
Yes.
Now along the way, which are these loopholes were created? We see one of them, it is not involving the initiator of marriage.
Wow.
And the initiator is God himself. So you are called to accomplish the mission of God in your institution. So you are not called to run what belongs to you. You are just a steward.
Yeah.
So we must be craving to know more about the will of God for this institution to run smoothly. But today, how many couples, how many marriages are involving the initiator along the way? How can we involve the initiator? We can involve our initiator through studying his word to know what he says about it.
Yeah.
One, a man should be the head.
Yeah.
What about a woman? Is a helper. So you start from that angle. That I am a helper, I am a head. Where will you then collide? You will collide when you fail to involve him all through. And how do you involve him? Through prayer.
Yes.
Through fellowshipping together with your family or your spouse. Through even attending fellowships and going to church. Or even studying the books or literatures that will help us to know God more.
Yeah.
Why are we knowing this God? Because we are seeking the kingdom in our marriage. Can I ask you a question because you have asked me one? Are we called to seek the kingdom or are we called to serve the kingdom?
The Bible says that we seek the kingdom of God first.
So, marriage, because the initiator is God, he needs us to seek him.
Yes.
So when you are seeking him in our institution, we are inviting the kingdom down here. So you are in a retro heaven.
Wow.
So you are in an institution, kind of a heaven. Why? Because you are initiating, or you are initiating God, and you are involving his power. You are involving his kingdom to come and deal with you.
Yes.
And when you are inviting that kingdom, you become a worshipper. At which point will you get part of thinking that this is not a head, this is not my husband, this is not my wife? At which point? At which point? Hard to get a point to contradict that institution.
But what will make you not to contradict is, as I am getting from you, at first we must understand that God is the author of this institution called marriage. Then after him being the author, there is a manual he has given us. That is the word of God.
Exactly.
And that is what should be running your marriage or your institution that we are calling marriage. Now we are getting closer and we are saying we need to have this fellowship. And so if you don't do these things, you get to that point you're saying, at what point will you start saying this is not my husband?
So when you fail to follow God's will, you follow your will.
Yes.
And your will is carnal. And carnal means flesh.
Yeah.
So you'll be thinking fleshly, you'll be doing things fleshly, and you'll be attracting flesh things, flesh minds
In your marriage.
in your marriage. So it will never learn. What will happen there? You hear knockouts.
Yeah.
And even you hear somebody coming to an end, even feeling like I can hang myself. I can commit suicide. I can even poison my spouse. Because you have run away from the will of God. Now you are on your will. And you can't sustain that marriage. It's not yours.
Yes.
You are just a steward.
Yes.
So if you think that you'll be away from the initiator, prepare yourself that we shall laugh at you. Because you have brought what God initiated very divinely. You have brought it to yourself and you cannot learn it, nor can you sustain it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe, Reverend, as we talk about this issue, maybe there's a couple out there, they are watching us, and as they listen to us, they are saying, maybe these guys, they are talking about believers. Maybe those people who are church people. Sisi ni watu wa dunia. So what would you tell such a couple?
I'm telling that couple, that's the beginning, that's the starting point.
Whether you are a non-believer,
whether you are an Evans, you are there, they call of them. Whether you are who, whether you are Islam, the starting point is involving who started this institution. And for you to become a believer, it's very simple. He came so that we may have
life
and have it
in abundance.
Why are you running where there's no life? And you want a life-free marriage? Why are you running where there's no life? He came with the truth so that truth can set us free.
Yeah.
So we are running most of the times, if we are out of God, we are running this marriage when we are in captive. Your mind is in captive. Your soul is in captive. Even your body is in captive. Even your attitudes are in captive. So you never progress.
Yes.
So the answer is inviting him to come in your life, to come in your institution, to set you free.
Yes.
Because when you are set free, you are free indeed. That is his word. And when you are free indeed, you progress. You'll be admired by others who are coming up to join that institution. But today, really, many are the young people who are not admiring this institution. Simply because outside there are so many who went inside it ignorantly, not knowing they have to involve the initiator first. Can I go to the second killer of marriage? Family of origin.
What do you mean by that?
When God said that you leave your parents and then come together and become one, you should respect that.
Yeah.
You are not coming together with your family affiliations. You are not coming together with your siblings' affiliations. Nor are you coming together with your flesh affiliations. You are becoming as flesh, as one couple. But today, there are so many couples or spouses have entered in this wonderful institution with affiliations of their families. Their marriage is dictated by their parents. Their marriage is dictated by their siblings. For example, you are brought up in a family where you are sponsored in your education by your brother or by your sister, so you respect them so much. So when you enter into this wonderful marriage, you are also expecting them to come. When you give them a room, they won't come to develop your marriage. They will come to kill it.
These are the people you call the third parties in
marriage. The third parties in marriage. It is you and you. You involve yourself to work together.
Yes. And
I would like also to address the in-laws, the parents, the siblings. If you know that your brother and sister have got into this wonderful institution, let them go. Let them be one. Because whoever will come as a third party to make these people separate, that is death.
It's only death.
Death. So when you are trying to go inside them to separate them or create a bigger gap, you are attracting the spirit of death. I don't know whether you have got that revelation.
Yeah.
So when you start thinking a couple walking very well along the streets, doing wonderful things, and you feel like I can do something silly to straight that, this couple is no longer one. When you start thinking that way, you have attracted the spirit of death. And no wonder today, death rate is so high. Because God said, whoever will separate you is death. So if you are trying to separate them,
there are people acting out there as death.
Yes.
Because they are separating people
who
in their
God
marriages.
have joined together. So they are coming to separate them. So when you are coming to separate them, know for sure, spirit of death is alongside your streets. So to do it the best way, if you are a family member of a certain couple, let them be. And if you should contribute constructively. Because I'm not saying that you leave them, you are not associated, you are not related. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you are still related. You are still the mother. You are still the father. You are still the brother and sister. But
let me ask, you'll find that nowadays you find there are young people out there who are getting married at a very tender age, very young. And so you find that you have gotten married, you're not well financially, and so you find your parents are the ones who are assisting you financially, and so they want to bring in their voice. You see, there are young people, you'll even find that even the house they are living in, it is the parents who are paying the rent. And so the parents want to bring in their voice in this marriage. How should they handle such a scenario?
Those young people who are outside there want to join this wonderful institution, they should make sure that they will be responsible of whatever they are starting. If you feel that you won't be responsible, leave it there until its time comes. So you are not marrying because of feelings. You are not marrying because of emotions. You are not marrying because of age. You are married because you are feeling now it is my time to get there. So nobody else should come and tell you, I'll sponsor you. You sponsor marriage. Are you the initiator? Go to where, if you decided to marry, then go to where you fit. Go to your class. Don't involve your parents to come and be paying your rent. Go to your class. Ikiwa ni kukaa huko gishagi, kaa na wao. So if you have decided to marry, go to an affordable life. Because when you involve siblings, families to come in, they also come in decision makings. True. Which is very wanting and very awkward to make that institution to run.
Wow.
So finally it will bring a havoc, and we shall see it havocing. I don't know whether there's such a grammar. Yes. You shall see that marriage doing what? Havocing. Because of what? Not taking care. Love the families.
And you have allowed other people to come in.
Yes.
Wow. This is beautiful. This is Couples Will Show. If you have just joined us, karibu sana. This is where we write down our love while we are alive. And tonight, we are talking about what kills marriage. I have said this many times. We are not a monologue. This is not a monologue program. So we want to hear from you. Tell us where you are watching us from. And when a bonga point is released, make a comment right there. Tell us, how are you fighting for your marriage? There are issues that has come. How have you handled those issues when they arise in your marriage? And I am hosting a lovely man of God. His name is Reverend Kahyu. He's coming to us from ACK Muranga South. Muranga South. Githogori Parish. Yes, let's continue. We have talked at 2 points.
Yes. Can we go to the third point?
Yeah.
Rules, boundaries.
Loose boundaries. I hope you're taking notes. Loose boundaries. Number 3.
When we were talking about family, I was tempted to bring this point inside there, but it is a point independently. Because you fight in a marriage, if you don't have strong boundaries of your emotions, of your interactions, of your friends, you find that marriage will be run by anything. You'll be run by anybody. You'll be run by emotions. You'll be run by friends. Imagine. Because you have failed to mark the boundaries.
So we need to put up boundaries.
Boundaries.
You can come, but hapa hawezi.
Yes, hapa huwezi pita. Umekuja, mom, umekuja, lakini hapa huwezi pita. My good friend, my workmate, my classmate, umekuja, lakini hapa, hata sio wewe unamwambia. He or she is saying there is a boundary. He or she cannot penetrate through. Have boundaries. Even your utterances, as you speak the project that you have about your marriage, have boundaries. Who are these you are talking with? Yes, it's not everyone. Let them see surprise. Let them see you progressing.
Yes.
Let them see that you have children. Don't keep on saying that I'm pregnant. That you know my baby is now pregnant, 5 months old. What is it for? Have boundaries. Let us see what you are talking about. Because pregnancy cannot be hidden. Have boundaries. Even let boundaries between you and the children. If God has blessed you with the children, and if He has not, you are still in marriage. You should not fear or worry of anything. Gone.
Actually, that is something I wanted us to discuss before we wind up. The issue of children. Because there are people who will say, my marriage was killed by the lack of children in this marriage. Yes.
Because of failing to mark the boundaries. When you were connected and you said, I do, you became one. And you started marriage. So, marriage is not with the children. Marriage is not with the wealth. Marriage is you two becoming one. So, and I have a case study of a number of couples who have walked a journey of 7 years, 8 years without children, but they still admire that their marriage. And God finally gives them children or a child. So children are God-given. It is not your effort.
They are a blessing.
Turn out blankets and try to go wherever. Children are God-given. And He gives at His appointed time. So you should not enter in this wonderful marriage to find children. You enter in this institution to propagate and accomplish the mission God has over that institution. So what am I trying to say? When you said I do, both of you, all other things lost some attachment. There are so many things that lost attachment, including parents. The relationship between you and workmates should also see a change. The relationship between you and friends should also see a change. The relationship between you and parents should also see a change. The relationship between you and siblings should also see a change. Why? You are in another world of wonderful institution which should be heavenly.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Wow.
So mark your territories. Mark your boundaries. And there are so many young couples outside there, they are marking their boundaries alone. If you mark your boundaries without starting with the first point I said, inviting God and involving Him, all what you are doing is only in vain. Hiyo boundary inarukwa kama asubuhi. Kivu sasa. Unasikia another man entering in your marriage. Yes. Inaitwa mpango wa kado. Na kwa sababu hiyo roho mume attract, ikiwa hata wewe and you are very faithful, you are very good in the beginning, you start going out because you lack of boundaries. When you fail to have it, we read in Isaiah 5, and we hear there was a garden which was prepared very well, guarded very well. But when the owner of that land came, he found instead of getting wheat, he got tares. What have I not done to this land, to this garden of mine? I have tilled it. I have manured it. I have watered it. But it has brought.
Yes.
What should I do? the owner said, I will unfence it to allow anybody, anything, any animal to trap on it. When you fail to guard your boundaries, you are allowing anyone, anything to come and trump this wonderful institution, and it will no longer be divine, it will be carnal. Yes. So mark your boundaries. And another name is demarcation. You demarcate your institution.
You're telling your friends out there, this place, hauwezi ukapita.
Yes.
Wow.
You know why? You can be doing the right things and failing to do away with the harmful things we know. And you know, really, even in your marriage, you know some harmful things. Even in mind, I know harmful things that I can attack it. If I fail to understand, to point them out, even if I try how hard to do like things, bringing food at home, paying school fees, providing for the family, taking them out, but you know what, behind there are harmful things. You'll never have a strong demarcation of your marriage.
So we need to mark our demarcations. We need to set out our boundaries. Thank you very much, Reverend Kayu, for coming.
Thank you.
Maybe you can give us your parting shot.
Oh, you mean I'm finishing?
Yes.
Oh my.
Time do fly.
Time do fly. And I've just talked about 2.
Yes.
And this topic is so broad and wide.
Yes.
Such that we cannot exhaust it here.
True.
Because we have not mentioned about lack of communication.
Yes.
So I don't know why you are hurrying me up.
It is time. My producer is telling me.
In this institution, after involving God, and after checking the family, after checking the boundaries, the other things that you run should have a clear communication. And in communications, it is not only talking. There is verbal and non-verbal communications. Yes, like the way you are looking at me, you also communicating to me.
Yes.
Yes, the way your producer is looking at you, because I have not heard him talk. It's also a communication.
Yes.
So there are times in marriage you know when to talk lowly, when to talk higher, when to keep quiet.
Yes.
Because even in the quietness you speak.
Yes.
You communicate.
You're communicating.
You also communicate through gifts. Yes. You know that your wife has been down for this issue and the other and the other and the other and the other. Surprise him or her. Yes, with a gift.
Yeah.
That gift communicates.
Yes.
That you appreciate. And you see wonderful service line. Because we see it from the beginning there, we seek the kingdom in this institution, and the kingdom will serve the institution. So you are not called to serve the institution. You are called to serve the kingdom, to serve
this institution.
What about the past? It's another killer. You want so much to go back to yesterday. And you can remind yourself of Lot's wife. He just looked back, she looked behind, and he became a pillar of salt. Not salt, a pillar.
A pillar of salt.
Of salt.
Because of past.
Yes.
Wow.
Many other couples are still clinging, are affiliated with their past. Past emotions, past failures, past excess. So they are coming with them in this world of institution. No way it can run when you're not fresh. So refresh yourself by clearing some toxic past, so that we can forge ahead. Ahead is bright.
Yes.
Yes.
So
dishonesty is another one.
Yes.
And I know I'll finish with this one. And tell my viewer that we cannot exhaust this topic.
Yes.
It's so wide.
Maybe you look for time and you come to do
More.
volume 2. Yes.
And more and more.
Yes.
But when you start with God, He'll make you learn all other things.
Yes.
he will make you run all other things. Why are you trying to work behind your spouse's life? Why be unfaithful? Why become dishonest? And you know, honesty is the mirror, is the camera to capture the level of whatever you want to acquire ahead. Honesty. If your honesty is wanting, even the possession, you also be minute.
To be wanting.
Yes. It is not a word. You hear, you share a lot with friends and other people that I've bought a plot, I've bought a car, I will do this. And your spouse does not know. That shows you are dishonoring your spouse, honoring outsiders. Dishonesty. Be honesty. Be open and be unique.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We are grateful that you came to be with us. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord expand you. And I pray that we'll find more time that you can come. We can continue with this topic. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, and we come to the end of tonight's show. This is Couples Will Show. This is where we write down our love will while we are alive. For we don't want our love story to be told when we are gone. Tonight, we have discussed about what kills marriage. If your marriage was about to die, now you know what you're supposed to do. Go back to the person who started it all over, and your marriage will thrive. Couples Will Show continues next week on Friday. And this can only be found on Wema TV, the voice of hope. My name is Willie Kenyash, and for now, it is a good night. God bless you, and God bless you.